Welcome to the Blokes Podcast. I'm Adam.
And I'm Greg, and we sit down once a week to shoot the breeze. We chat about anything and everything. Sports, films, drinking, politics, music, etc.
So sit back, crack open a beer, and enjoy. Good afternoon, sir.
Hello.
How are you, mate?
I'm very good, thank you. We're back, man.
Yeah, I can't believe it. Back, baby. Series 4.
Yes.
I never thought we'd last this long.
No, me neither.
We've not got the stamina. We've never seen anything through this much in our entire lives.
I think you're right. I think that of all the things that we do not appreciate that COVID has given us, I think this is one of the ones we can appreciate. You know, this is one of the things that it's given us the time to actually get into the swing of it.
Yeah, because we've been talking about it for years and years and years. I guess the fact that it involves booze, it involves just killing time and having a natter, basically.
Yeah.
Like two grandmas, basically, but we've replaced tea for beer.
Yeah.
Speaking of, what do you have for us today, sir?
We've got the same beer. So we are going to be tasting the same beer, and we can compare notes for, I think, possibly the first time. I don't know.
Have we done it? I think we did a wine episode one time where we had the same wine.
You got it.
But yeah, it's definitely few and far between. So yeah.
So I've got a beer here, and the hope is this is going to not change your mind, but give you a different perspective on IPAs. Because I know you like an IPA, but you're kind of sick of it, aren't you? It's been too samey for too long.
Yep.
And I this might not be that different, but this is a Hobgoblin IPA.
Fantastic.
And avid listeners will know Hobgoblin's one of my, if not my favourite ale ever. That's their Ruby Ale that I love. Just great value, tastes great. Can't go wrong. So let's see what they've got in the IPA department.
I mean, straight out of the gates, it looks better already. It just looks darker. It's not got that straw sort of camel kind of thing going on. It's it's heartier. It's like, it almost looks like an ale.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Full blown ale, but it's got it's effervescent for sure. I can see the bubbles.
Absolutely right. Yeah.
It smells great as well. Like it's got a huge aroma, which I like on a beer.
And it's got the sort of London Pride head to it, I would say. Like that. Maybe not quite as big a bubble as that, but it's
exactly.
It's definitely got that ale-y look.
Yeah, for sure. It's fantastic. It's great, man. It's refreshing. It's light, but it's got some body and it's got some character.
Yes,
and it's not just towing the American line. It's like, it's just got some character. What do they say on the bottle? Okay, so it's 5.3, pretty standard IPA. Witchwood is the brewer, isn't it? Yeah, that's it. And pale golden, orange glints. Zesty orange, grapefruit, honey, juicy bitterness. I mean, that's straight out of the American playbook, those words. But it's definitely more on the honey and the juicy bitterness side. Yeah. It has got that bitter tinge to it, as opposed to the orangey grapefruit, Beavertown American beers sort of thing.
Yeah, less of that sort of citrusy fruit note. Juicy for sure. As soon as I take a sip, I'm like salivating. It's really, really good, man.
Maybe that's just afternoon pints, though.
That could be it. I've been gagging for this for all day. So
in a proper glass as well. Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
There we go.
Oh yes.
Okay, so we're off to a flyer. So a little birdie told me you played a round of golf the other day.
Oh yes. I almost forgot about that. It was good, man. Man, you know what? The best round of golf I've had in a while. Not skill-wise. Definitely not skill-wise. I was rusty beyond belief. But I stayed true to my form. I stuck it out with a 7-iron and a putter. Nothing else the entire day. Oh, no. That's a lie. I did need a sand wedge to get out of a bunker. But other than that, 7-iron putter the whole way round. And they were par 5s, par 4s. But I was, after the sort of first, 3 holes, and I realised, remembered how to actually hit the ball. I was getting on the green, on a par 5 on my 4th stroke. I'd be on the green every time, and sort of I'd be 1 stroke behind getting onto the green.
Great.
And get a chance for a par.
Yeah.
I was 3-putting quite a lot of the holes, so let's put it that way. But I felt really good. I felt really good, and it was just so fun. And I'm immediately on the phone to my dad. He's put his spare set aside for me. I'm going to borrow them.
Nice.
And I'm definitely getting on a course soon. It was, oh man, such a good time. And it'd been a while since I played, so I guess I'd forgotten, but absolutely loved it.
Mate, me too. I mean, because courses have been sort of open, then closed, then open. I've just ignored it for a little bit. And the weather's been shocking. But a combination of hearing that you played and watching the Masters, I was just like, oh man, golf! I forgot all about golf. This is so sick. Man, let's get out soon. A Blokes podcast golf trip.
Yes, this is one we can do. I think this is doable. This won't go onto the heap of ideas that the viewers can't see, but there's a mound of papers that we've just thrown to the wayside.
It's like an A-team montage when they're trying to come up with a plan and they just like write something down and then crumple it and throw it in the waste paper bin.
A paper bin that's just overflowing with like crumpled paper. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, 100% we should do that. And the thing that I did miss on my round, and it was a weird, it was like a 12-hole course. I've never done 12 holes.
Right. Which course was it?
It's a place called South Petersfield.
Right.
Golf club. It's a pretty rough club, to be fair, which was perfect because all of us there were out of practice. So we actually went to the wrong... So this is a funny story. So there's 2 golf courses in Petersfield. There's Petersfield Golf Club and there's South Petersfield.
Okay.
We turned up to Petersfield, and most people who know the area will know Petersfield's quite a nice area, quite posh. We turn up and I've got my trainers on, no golf shoes in sight. I'm sharing clubs with my mate. And we're just getting dirty looks in the car park. I'm like, we should not be playing on this course. Because I grew up near a course that was quite similar to that, quite posh, and they would definitely kick you off if you weren't wearing the right gear or if you were just too crap, basically. Yeah. Well, they wouldn't let you play, actually, unless they had a member take you around, actually.
Right.
Anyway.
So it was somebody else's head on the chopping block.
Yeah, sure, exactly. So we're in this club car park and we're getting dirty looks, and I'm like saying to my mate, we shouldn't be here.
It's not the best way to start around either.
And he's worrying as well. And anyway, we get on the phone to the guy who's organised it, and he's like, no, you're in the wrong club.
Nice.
Yeah, so he saved us, luckily. So we went to the next place, and it was a lot rougher. It was the web doesn't have a website, actually, but you turn up and there's a big sign that just says pay and play, and you're like, okay, cool, we're home. We belong here.
Nice.
So it was decent enough, and a lot of fun, man. We should definitely get out.
Excellent stuff. Oh mate, golf clubs are such a funny one, aren't they? Like, on one hand, I love the sort of club atmosphere and the fact that like they uphold all these traditions and rules, but like if you're new to it or a bit like me, it's like it is pretty daunting, isn't it? Like going to some of these places, or it's just the whole vibe. Like, unless you've got a bit of an in there, it can be tricky.
100%.
And to be fair, your mate probably saved you about £100 as well. Like,
oh god, yeah.
Some of these courses are so expensive.
Yes,
like, crazy money.
Yeah,
like even with a member, it's still like £60. Some of these places.
Yeah, they are. So the club I grew up is in the sort of top 50 in the country, and my dad's a member. He lives within walking distance of it, so I had an in, obviously, and I did have a membership for a year. But it is seriously, I had to go around with the juniors captain a whole round and prove to them that I wasn't an idiot and I wasn't going to ruin the course, basically. Yeah. And and during tournaments there'd be 100 people on the first tee watching you tee off, and they're all if like you have a bad tee off, like
the first tee is always shocker, isn't it?
God, it is always bad. I used to practice in my living room when I knew I had a tournament up, or a round up with that people were going to watch. I'd put it was on Sky. It was like a golf channel on Sky, maybe Sky Golf or something.
Now, yeah.
And they'd always have these sort of like just pros going on there, sort of showing you how to swing properly and giving you tips. And I'd just stand in the living room. And luckily the ceiling was high enough that I could get away with this. And I'd just practice swinging on the carpet, basically. Just because I knew that first tee off is just going to be so high pressure.
Yeah.
But
such a mental game, isn't it? It's all in the head. Like,
incredibly.
You know, I've been on a few rounds like with mates I'm very comfortable with. No one's watching. It's a cheap ass course.
Yeah.
I've been practicing, and still the first tee shot just goes anywhere. You know, and I'm like, listen, on the first tee, I'm happy if I can still see my ball. If I know where it is,
yes,
fine. I'll take that, and I will be happy with that. You know, even if it's rough, it's in the trees, whatever. As long as I sort of know where it is.
Yeah.
You know, if it's not behind me or in a lake, I'm fine. I'll take that.
100%, man. That's why I honestly I think my dad told me this. Like, he said, don't bother learning any clubs apart from a 7-iron. And I'm gonna keep going on about this. People are gonna think I'm an idiot, but a 7-iron and a putter. If you can hit with those two things, then you'll be fine.
For sure.
And then you add clubs to that. Like, you'll add on maybe a 9-iron next, or a sand wedge or something, or a pitching wedge. And you add clubs slowly, and then you get the full gear.
Yeah.
But I think that's the problem with a lot of people. Yeah, I think a lot of people go wrong there because they get the big driver out, like the massive ones, you know.
Yeah.
And they're so hard to hit. I can't hit them.
Hard.
I definitely can't. And you know, you're on a par 5, you think you need to get this ball down the fairway.
Yeah.
And that's where things go dreadfully wrong, I think.
Mate, I dream of the day when I can play around and not lose a ball.
Yeah.
That's going to be a great day when I go around with the same ball all the way.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, and I guess that's relatively tough. Like watching the Masters the other day, which was incredible, by the way. I watched pretty much the whole thing.
Great.
Well, first 3 days I watched the highlights, the sort of 90-minute highlights. And then the last day I watched the whole thing, like 4 or 5 hours thing. And it was so good. That Now TV thing, where you can buy like 1 day of Sky Sports for
like $9.99.
Yeah. Amazing. It's a game changer.
I'm going to start doing that.
It's so good because then you don't have to like worry about like how expensive it is or like all the other stuff. It's like, it's fine. I just want to watch the last day of the Masters. I'll pay my £10. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It's such a great business model.
I think the friend I was with, I guess I can say who it was because they've been on the podcast, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
George. I was with George.
Sweet.
We all remember George. That was good. What an episode. we'll cut to a montage of that episode. No,
yeah.
And he was telling me that he was doing it, but it was 25 quid for the month. But he had all his a load of Man U games on there because he's a big Man U fan.
Yeah.
The Masters was on there. It was great. I just don't know why I've never really thought about it. I've always thought about the Sky subscription, which is just extortionate.
Yeah. Especially if it's part of like Virgin Media or something.
Sure.
Like, no word of a lie. I was spending £105 a month on internet and TV, and that's silly, isn't it? I mean, there was a lot of cricket on that year, and I loved it, and I did watch it all the time. I watched lots of NFL, a lot of cricket, and a bit of golf. But I was thinking, £105, man, that sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So that came off sharpish.
I wonder if it makes you watch more sport because you're like, I'm getting the value out of this.
It makes you watch that you don't want to watch.
Really care about that one.
You know, like. I don't even know, like netball, European netball championships, or like whatever's on, you know.
Yeah.
WNBA at 2 a.m. or something. You know, stuff that you're not usually going to watch. I was watching baseball and stuff. Oh no, that was BT Sport as well. Again, like especially now, there's 2 or 3. It's not just Sky. There's like BT Sport and your Amazon Sport and all these different things. It's like if you. And the thing that you want to watch is always on the one you've not got as well.
Of course,
annoyingly, you know. But yeah, I mean that's the dream, isn't it? That's the sign that you've made it. I always remember kids at school, like if they had Sky, it was like their dad's rich.
Yeah,
like that family, they're living the dream.
Yeah,
or they're just completely prioritising in the wrong way.
Yeah.
You know?
that's
they never had school books, or they never went on school trips, but like dad's got Sky.
Yeah, it's like the parents that turn up in like a brand new car that they're sort of renting basically, and just like paying through the nose
exactly.
for, but they're struggling.
500 quid a month.
Yeah,
hand-me-down shoes.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, I had actually just briefly before we move on from golf, I actually had a thought about this the other day. do you think musos have got a advantage with golf? Because when you're learning an instrument, or at least it was for me with drums, you're